Good afternoon, dear teacher. My name is Rosario Estela Benitez Chua. I am from Lima, but actually I am living here in Carabelli, Arequipa. This is the story that I want to share with you, The Pacay of the Witches. This story starts like this. My parents decided to get a travel on some on their vacations. So it was a very dark night. My mother had traveled to her hometown Carabelín, Arequipa, with my father at the first time. My dad was very excited to see the town where my mother was born. They arrived at the bus station late at night. My dad asked if my mother's house was close or far, far away. My mom responded to calm down because they would be home soon. Because of the time, because it was very, very late, it was very difficult to get a motorcycle taxi to my mom's house. My mother said, "At the moment, we won't be able to take a taxi. We have to walk home." My dad asked, "How long should we walk?" My mother replied, "It will be about 25 minutes." They began the walk, but my father noticed my mother was somewhat breathless and worried. My dad stopped my mother and asked her what was wrong. She replied, "Nothing important." My dad was even more worried about the answer, but he continued walking. They would have advanced about 20 minutes of walking, and this time as my mother stopped my father to say the following: "Honey, when I tell you run, you run and run without stopping until I tell you to stop." My dad asked, "Why?" My mother, somewhat agitated, responded, "Don't ask me anything, just obey. I'll explain to you at home." Suddenly, my mother screamed, "Honey, run, run, run!" My dad started running and running without stopping and with 1,000 questions in his head until the distance he heard my mother's voice saying, "Now, stop!" My dad stopped and waited for my mom. She came to him and told him that they had already arrived at home. Once inside, my dad demanded an explanation. My mother, a little calmer, already told him that in the section that he had run there was a pacay tree. The urban legend has it that on dark nights a witch appeared in men's hamlet. The witch would catch them and disappear in the middle of that pacay tree. Several neighbors were already known to be missing. That is why the section is called the Pacay of the Witches. My dad, instead of being calmer with explanation, became much more scared and unwilling to leave the house. That is my story. It was a pleasure to share it with you. Thank you very much.